Something extraordinary is happening across America's college campuses, and it's changing the atmosphere in ways few could have imagined. From Alabama to California, from Texas to Tennessee, thousands of students are gathering, not for parties or protests, but for prayer. What began as a small spark of faith has become a wildfire of transformation. It's a movement many are calling death to life. At Auburn University, one night changed everything. It was supposed to be a simple evening of worship, a gathering of music, prayer, and reflection. But when one student asked to be baptized, the moment took an unexpected turn. Within minutes, dozens more stepped forward. Hundreds followed. The crowd moved toward a nearby lake, and without microphones or bright lights, the baptisms began. The water shimmered under the moonlight as students stepped in, one by one, surrounded by cheers, tears, and prayers. It wasn't a performance. It wasn't a trend. It was real. Videos from that night went viral across TikTok and Instagram, capturing the raw emotion of young people discovering something they never thought they'd find: peace. For so many of them, it was the first real encounter with hope. Soon, the same scenes began to unfold at other universities. At Texas A&M, hundreds gathered around a fountain in the middle of campus. At the University of Alabama, students lined up beside a lake in the dark. In every city, the message was the same: they were tired of running from God, tired of pretending everything was fine, and ready for something real. Students who once felt invisible began sharing their stories online. A young woman from Georgia said, "I was broken. I had everything: grades, friends, followers, but I felt empty. That night, when I came out of the water, I felt free for the first time." Another student from Florida said, "It's not about religion for me. It's about finding purpose, something to live for." Across campuses, professors and pastors watched in amazement. Many of them had spent years seeing students drift away from faith. Now, they were seeing a reversal, an awakening. A campus minister at the University of Kentucky said, "I've never seen anything like it. These students aren't responding to entertainment or hype. They're responding to truth, to love, to something deep inside that's been missing." Even journalists and secular news outlets have taken notice. Footage of spontaneous baptisms has appeared on national broadcasts and social media feeds, sparking conversations about faith, identity, and meaning in a generation that's often described as lost. But what if this generation isn't lost? What if it's searching, and finally finding what it's been looking for? In classrooms, students are starting to talk differently. The conversations that once revolved around parties or exams now turn to purpose and community. Many say they've found a sense of belonging they never experienced before. "It's like the fog lifted," one student said. "I didn't even realize how numb I was until I felt alive again." Psychologists and faith leaders say there's something significant happening here. In a world that moves at lightning speed, where likes and followers define identity, this quiet, genuine return to faith stands out. It's not about organized religion or flashy preachers. It's about a generation rediscovering what it means to be human, to connect, and to believe again. One of the most moving stories came from a young man at Baylor University. He had struggled for years with addiction and depression. He said he walked to the lake that night just to watch. But as he listened to others talk about freedom, something inside him broke. He said, "I don't know what happened. I just walked in. I didn't plan it. I just knew I wanted to be new." When he came out of the water, he hugged a stranger and cried. Later, he said it felt like years of pain had finally lifted off his shoulders. These are not isolated events.